Good morning, and good morning. It is Brent Harding, and you can see us popping, and everybody is here. I am most enthusiastic. We have a guest with us on the air today, but you've already seen that on the feed, so that is a very good thing. As always, it gives me pleasure to let you know that the co-host, Pamela Stone, is with us. She is in the house. And just to let you know a little bit about the person that you're going to be meeting today, her name is Alina Lopez Thomas. I'll share a little bit more about her in a moment. But I want you to know that August is for entrepreneurs. That's right, August is for entrepreneurs. So we are interviewing every single week. We're going to have a new person to talk about. And we're going to talk about the various stages of entrepreneurship as well. So today we are actually starting off at the beginning. And the reason that I pointed out the beginning is because here's the deal. Many of us, in fact, it has been alluded to that as much as 80% of entrepreneurs get into business by happenstance. So what exactly does that mean? That means that they got into business not because they necessarily wanted to be in business, but they got into business because they fell into it. And fell into it means this. It was a part-time gig, and it worked out really well. And then something happened to their primary business, and so or their primary job, let me rephrase that, and their primary job went away, and it was unfortunate. So the first thing they thought was, wow, I've already been doing this part-time gig. How about this? How about I ramp it up? And if I do, what will happen is my part-time gig will then become full-time. If I put as much energy into the part-time, I can get full-time pay because now I'm working a full-time business. Here's the problem. Most of them, within that 80%, never bothered to write a business plan. They know nothing about their financial projection. They don't know how they got from point A to point B, and then day by day they're just coming in and they're running. They're coming in, they're running. They're coming in, they're running. They're coming in, they're running, and they do not know where they're running to. Nothing is predictable. So what we're going to do is we're going to start at the beginning, and that's why Ms. Thomas is here with us today. Now, with that being said, let me introduce our co-host and let her say good morning to you. Pamela, the floor is yours. Go for it.
Good morning, Wealth Warriors and our guests. How is everybody doing out there this morning? New month? So that means it's a new time to be you, right? So as Ms. Brent talked about, where everybody that's going into business, everybody goes in not knowing what to do, how to do it. They're just jumping into it and no plan. That's not good. Because then that's when I come in to help you declutter yourself to get you back on track. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a business have someone help you start getting you thinking about getting to that level of a business plan and what it takes and what steps to put into a business plan. And I'm so excited to have our guests on here so everyone can hear, and so I can also replay this back to our future wealth warriors as they come to join us, as well as our other guests out here listening. And real quick before I get off here, anybody that has not joined the Wealth Warriors and wants to know how to join the Wealth Warriors, all you have to do is just get onto the Wealth Warrior feed and say, I want to join. It's that simple. That simple and that easy. And then one of us will come back and we'll be like, welcome to the Wealth Warrior family. Again, our object here is to educate everybody to be your own boss and how to be your own boss in a successful way. So everybody have a good one. Sit down, get your paper and pen out, and gather these nuggets that's getting ready to be laid upon us.
I appreciate that, Pamela. Thanks so much. Well, as Pamela said, we are going to have nuggets today because we're going to do something right. Before we get underway, you know what we need to do. We need to invite everybody to this broadcast. So we're going to take the infamous fingers, we're going to put them to the keyboard, and we're going to give a shout out. We're going to invite folks from Twitter. So I want you to go up to your Twitter handle, and I want you to invite folks in. All you have to do is say, Join the Wealth Warrior broadcast now. That's all we want to say is join the Wealth Warrior broadcast now. It is open for the public. They can hear, they can see. So we are going to have that happen right now because we don't want anybody to miss a nugget. So are you ready? Type it in. Join the Wealth Warrior broadcast now. I'm going to give you about 2-3 seconds to make that happen, and then we're going to do a flash mob. Are you ready? Okay, on three, that's 1, 2, 3. We're going to do a flash mob. 1, 2, 3. Hit the enter button. Flash mob! That's what I'm talking about. Good morning, everybody. Did I wake you up? We're in the dog days of summer. Do you realize this is the slowest period of the year? This is when a lot of folks shut down and they miss the mark. In order for you to be ready for September, October, and November, we got to take care of business right now. Recalibrate whatever it is we're doing so we can hit September, October, and November running. And we've got plenty of announcements as well. So first and foremost, we've got our guest speaker, Alina Lopez Thomas. She's the first interviewee. We are going to do some hot biz topics that people want to know about. And then we're going to close out and let you know what's going on for next week. So with that being said, I have the privilege and the pleasure of introducing what I call a superwoman. And the reason she is a superwoman is because she has a biography that is an arm long. Being a committed employee, 22 years in her background, and she took a leap and jumped off and is starting her own enterprises. She is a woman that has so many ideas, she needs to put them in a book just so that she can keep track of all of those ideas. So with that being said, I have the privilege and the pleasure of introducing this lovely lady, and I'm going to let her give you a little bit of her biography, and then I'm going to ask the question. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Alina Lopez Thomas. Good morning, Ms. Thomas. How are you this morning?
Good morning. Hello. Well, I will tell you, I'm wide awake now. I was sleeping before. I'm definitely not now. Hello, everybody.
Please tell them a little bit about you.
So,
tell them a little bit about your background and as you're starting this transition, what transitioning is like.
Well, my background is first and foremost a mother, a grandmother, a wife, and I was an employee of the Commonwealth, 22 years deep, and now I am into entrepreneurship. I am one happy woman. I'm one happy. It is great to be able to get these creative juices flowing. I never knew that I had so many. Being in the Commonwealth and working such in a bureaucratic type of environment, not just like the Commonwealth, but being in I never knew that all in me, but I got it there, so it's been great. Spread my wings and learn more about myself, and do that. And it's also great to be around so many like-minded people. I mean, I got to meet somebody as fabulous as you, although I already knew you, but now I'm getting to really know you. And Pamela Stone, I got to meet you, so this is fabulous. It's great to get to know people that are definitely doing the same thing that I'm doing, and so I'm just very excited. It's a wonderful thing. So that's really all of it in a nutshell. I'm at the beginning stages. And it is really all about, I think Pamela said it the best, and Brent, you're saying it, the best. It's all about that business plan. It's amazing how you really start off in the beginning and you think you got it all down packed. I think you were describing me the best. It was like, I have it all down packed. I can do it. But if you have a business plan, you really gotta hunker down and get that together. So.
Tell
I'm going to let you ask me the question because I'll go right into the business plan mode and just spell the whole thing out for you.
I was just about to say that. What first and foremost, what made you decide that you wanted to take a class about writing a business plan? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes,
Okay,
absolutely. Although
super.
I was told, I was too loud in the neighborhood, but um, um, I decided to take the plan because I wanted to do it right this time. I've always thought that I knew what I needed to do to start a business. In my prior job, I actually helped other people start their businesses, and I thought I had it all together. This time, I realized I needed to understand step by step, actually open your own business. And that's actually down to every piece of what you need to do. What is your market analysis? What is your competitive strategy? What is your SWOT analysis, your strength, your weaknesses, your threats? Every little bit and piece out there so that when you start that business, you are completely wide-eyed open. You have to know every bit and you start the whole idea main open and that you get the best customers and that you don't fail. The other piece of it is that you're putting money into something. The idea isn't that you fall apart later. The other piece is that you want customers to come back to you. You don't want to be a one-shot deal. You want people to see you and say, you know, that's Alina. I want to come back to Alina because she has a solid business. You're branding yourself, and I want to be branded as a particular thing, and I want people to see me as a particular way. So taking this business plan and really going through it was a 10-week business course. I will say that 10 week lasted a long time for me. Not a schoolgirl, and I had to take course by course, and it was financials and everything. Didn't have makeup. That was kind of fun because I was like, "Woo, girl, I got $25,000." I didn't even have $25,000, but whatever. Um, I had it that time, and I had to break down each piece. And it was good because I said, you know what? I need money for this. I need money for that. Things that I didn't even know was going to need it for. So just really breaking every piece down. You really need to do it because you'll be surprised what you're going to need and what you don't need, where the support systems are going to be, where the support system won't be, the fact that you are going to have to go to the side. That's a big, you're going to have to work hard. You're going to have to work. Entrepreneur isn't the easiest thing in the world. I always thought it was. I thought it was, hey, I'm an entrepreneur. It's easy. Not the easiest job out there. So
Here's my
that's
question.
why I decided. I decided because I wanted to get it right.
Okay, here's a couple of questions
Go
for
ahead.
you.
I'm listening.
Okay. First and foremost, what is a market analysis? You're throwing some words at us that we appreciate, but tell me, what in fact is a market analysis?
Okay, a market analysis is when you have, let's say, you're going to be doing a retail store or something. I'm just going to use a retail store.
Okay.
You want to look at the market that you potentially at. Are you going to be selling in a particular to a particular group of people? Who, where, how much money are you going? The amount of money that those people are going to have. You want to look at every piece of the market. Where are you going to be selling it at? So you want to look at every piece of that whole entire market so that you know where you're going to locate yourself so that you best amount for your money.
Okay.
So basically you're studying the industry or where you're at in your particular area.
Okay. All righty. The next question that I have, or what came to mind, is you mentioned the word branding. That must be the hottest thing on the market right now is branding. Tell us a little bit about what branding means to you, because everybody's, oh, I'm branding, my brand, my brand, my brand. What does that mean, or should that mean for a person?
Well, I think that I'm such at the beginning stage of branding who I am. Be honest with the whole entire world about that one. But when I look at branding, it's basic. It's real simple. It's basically about how I want people to see me. Okay, and so that when you see Alina, this is who Alina is about, and this is what Alina is about. And so whenever you're thinking about a particular thing, whatever it may be, in my particular case, I'm going to use who I think I'm about. I think that I am about the improvement of women, very serious about women making improvement or being very successful in any business that they do. Determined that that's what I'm about is because every business that I'm involved in, whether it's whatever it is, it's all about women improving themselves. So I think I'm totally branded around women.
Okay, got it, got it. The
I
reason
don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense,
No,
but for me it does.
it very definitely does, in fact, make sense. What has happened is we're hearing this word branding, and people are going around and saying this. And in some instances, uh, the one they just don't know what the word means. That's one. Or secondly, if in fact they know what it means, then they're not doing it, and people tend to be all over the place. And so that you said it in a nutshell. You said women. Period. Now I understand then you break it down, but it's being very clear to the audience. You're not talking about children. You're not talking about men. You're talking about women. So that becomes your brand. When they look at you, they say, Alina is about women. She's about working with women. She's about the success of women. And then she gets to define it some more. But I've heard so many people talking about my brand, my brand, my brand, that it's in some respects it's a cross between being comical and questioning. Does this person really know what it means to brand yourself? So that's why I thought I would ask. Pamela has a question, so I'm going to defer to Pamela. Go ahead, Pamela. What's your question for our guest?
I would
Hmm.
like to first I would first like to go back to the business plan. I understand it took you 10 weeks to do you went through the course of 10 weeks. Do you know on how average or how much time it would spend for someone to do a business plan? Let's be honest, a lot of our listeners or those that are going into entrepreneurship, they may not have that 10 weeks to give. So do you know on average how much time it would take to do a business plan?
Mm. I think that if you were at this particular business venture or talk to this particular instructor, she would probably say, or they would say, you know what, you can do this probably in a day. Um, all you have to do is put in some of your key kind of concept of what it is that you want to do. And I think there's like five basic areas. Please, Pamela, don't ask me to say them. Um,
I won't.
but there's like
I
some key, just
understand.
basic areas that you need to put there. All right.
That's great.
Yes.
I
But
understand.
there's some like areas that you need to put out there. Yeah,
Okay,
there's just some key basic areas that you need to put in there for it. It can take you a day.
that's perfect. Well, I have a day to off. I have a
Yes.
day. I understand. So how often do you review? Did they talk about how often you review your business plan? Okay, we've written it. Now, how often do I go back to check on myself? Because let's be honest, we write things down
Mm.
and then you leave it on the shelf
Yup.
and you don't look at it. So, did they discuss how often you should go back to review your
Yes.
business plan?
That is such a they did talk about that. And one of the things that they said is that you are going to be checking that business plan often. And I will tell you, Pamela, within that 10-week period, I changed my business plan and that's because I kept getting more information. They basically said the business plan needs to be near you, because that's how often you're going to be writing on it and making adjustments and changes to it. That's a
Okay.
very good question, actually, because that's how often you're going back to your plan.
Pam,
That's
let me
good.
chime in for just a moment. That is a super question, and I'm glad that you asked it. I recall when I owned a consulting firm, and when it came to the plan, we wrote the plan and then put it on the shelf. In fact, we wrote it because we were told you have to write the business plan. So we did just that. And then we never thought about going back to look at it. We just kept on going with what we were doing. And so that is a perfect question to ask.
Mm-hmm.
One of the other things, and talking about that business plan, I recall being in business for a couple of years, and there are probably people that are out there right now that have been in your business. You never wrote up the plan. And so now what you're thinking is, wow, I don't have time to write a plan anymore. Although Alina brought out a very good one. It could literally be done in a day, and I've got a question to ask about that. But here's the deal. We say, oh, you know what? I'm going to hire somebody to write the plan for me. And so I'm just not going to, I don't have time to write the plan. And so they don't. Well, I remember one time John Walsh, a consultant, that was paid a substantial amount of money an hour to consult with people. And I got a free consultation. This is a person that had paid $800 an hour plus and that was back then. He was being paid $800 an hour. And I'll never forget him saying, Brent, if you do this for 2 years or more, then it is imperative that you write the plan. Not hire somebody, you write the plan. So here's what we did. We said, nah, you know what, I think I know more than the average bear, so I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and I am going to actually hire somebody, and I did. And I had them interview me, they interviewed my partner, they interviewed our associates, and my partner and I said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go away for the weekend. We're going to split the plan in half. You take the first half, I take that second half. Then we're going to bring it together, and then we are going to go over the plan because we will have both then read both sides of it. And we did just that. Actually, you know what happened? I read the front half, she read the back half, then we sat down, and we each shared our notes. It was actually hilarious because we kept saying to ourselves, was that guy in the room when he was interviewing our associates? Because this plan doesn't look anything like what we talked to him about. However, his perceptions based on the people he talked to and based on us, what we conveyed to him or what he took in was totally different from what we were doing. And it really set the point home is if you've been in business 2 years or more, you have to be the person that writes the plan. I thought that was pretty powerful. Alina, what are your thoughts behind that one?
The thought I have behind that is absolutely right. A matter of fact, that was the first thing that they said. Do not have anybody write your plan. It's your plan, and you write your own plan. It was the first thing that was said, actually. That's real simple.
Real simple.
It's your business plan. It's your business. Write your plan.
I like
okay?
that. Absolutely.
Matter of fact, I think you would have been embarrassed.
I probably would have been. That is for sure. Because after that time frame, it's no more. Like you said, it's yours. You write it. Absolutely. Hey, Pamela, do you have another question for our guest?
I do. So back to the business plan, we talked about
she is going to stay on that business plan because she is not.
It is actually very important. Funny enough,
she's helping me.
Okay.
I can't hear her.
Funny enough, I've had several new entrepreneurs who doesn't even have a business plan. So the question that I wanted to ask you is, and this will be my last one, What is your thoughts on using the electronic apps to write your business plan?
Um, that's not a problem. You mean are they going to fill everything in, all the information? They're just using
Yes,
it as a template, correct?
correct.
Yes, that's fine because that's just giving them the template and they're filling in all of their information into it. That's fine. They that's not a problem at all.
That's good because we have a lot of new age entrepreneurs that the paper is not their friend anymore, and the generation behind us
Oh,
or
it's gonna, yeah.
or in front of us, they're all about the phone, using our phone as instead of getting away from paper. Me, I have to use both, but a lot of them are trying to find the
Mhm.
easy way to use the phone. So that's why I was wondering your
Mhm.
opinion, your feelings about the phone app business plan.
Right. I will make a point that there were several people that were in this businesses already, so to your point, up and running, that didn't even have business plans, and they were actually coming back to a 10-week business plan course to write out a business plan. So it tells you the importance of having a business plan. So it is important, and it tells you that this have on the front end of your business so that you're not doing it on the back end. So
Okay,
no matter
great.
how you do it, whether you do it online or wherever, however it is that you do it, the point is just do it. And the words are key.
Great.
Awesome.
Okay, that's great. Thank
Mhm.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely do appreciate that. And we're going to just take a little bit of a moment to kind of recap the things that have been going on. First and foremost, again, Wealth Warriors, we are glad that you are here, especially in the dog days of summer. Why? Because this is a time when people lull. There are two really distinct times of the year when people lull in their business. One is August and the other is December. And they use, I, hey, we're keeping it real today. They use excuses. Well, nobody's around. Well, this, well, that, well, the other. So it takes a lot of motivation. It takes us motivating and inspiring ourselves to stay on point. August is a time when we recalibrate so we can be prepared for that September, October, November push. Because we know December, what is the excuse? Oh, well, it's Christmas and I need to save, I need to be saving my money. No, what we need to be able to do is to get clear and to get focused and to position ourselves so that we are smooth throughout the entire year. So here's the deal. We've had the privilege, and we're going to continue the dialogue, of speaking with a new entrepreneur after 22 years. She has experienced the freedom of entrepreneurship. However, it comes with a price, and that price is called work. WORK. If we are not, in fact, I'm going to submit to everybody, we work even more diligently in our businesses than we may work for that job. And we've got to know and understand that. What I appreciate about Alina is she's doing it right. And when we say doing it right, we're keeping it real. There is a right, there is a wrong. If you've already gotten started, hey, guess what? And maybe let me rephrase that. Not say right and wrong. Let me say there is a more prudent, smoother way that will allow you to focus and probably make more money than if you just go it alone. If you've gone it alone, then I'm going to encourage you to go and take that class. Take the hours out every week and go to a class to recalibrate. See, now that is a recalibration of
Mhm.
our business. With that being said, what did we cover? What were the nuggets that we got out of this morning? First and foremost, I believe that we got two nuggets. One of those is what Alina had said, and that is a market analysis. Who is our customer? Who are we attempting to target? I know one thing, I'm in the recalibration that I'm doing, I know now the age bracket that I'm focused in on. I did that, unfortunately, the hard way. The hard way is going out and taking time to go out and interview folks rather than go to the research component. I took the research out and talked to individuals. Very time consuming. You can do market analysis. You can go in, you can ask the question and get to the point much more expediently. So again, taking the course probably would have helped that instead of doing it old school, market analysis. The other thing that I like that she talked about, and that was the branding. And that branding is that message, how people perceive you. What do they see? What is it that you're saying? What message are you getting out? What is it that you want to look like all day long? For example, my brand is Wealth Warriors. It's Wealth Warrior Strategies. Actually, the front end is Wealth Warriors. And then everything after that, it ties back to it. You are going to see a monumental change in Brent Harding because you will see Brent Harding, the individual, and then you will see the brand. And the brand is going to be uniform. So whether you view me on LinkedIn or on Twitter or any place else, you'll understand the brand because that's what I'm attempting to do and will fulfill. And so I thought that was pretty powerful. Now, I want to open up the floor for Pamela to share with you the nuggets that came out of her question on business plan. So, Pamela, take it away.
What I came out of my nugget for the business plan is one, it is important that we have one. Now, I know that our guest talked about there was some people that has been in business 2 years and they come around and they're now doing a business plan. Here's my advice to everyone, and actually I got this from a mentor of mine. Take time out to do your business plan. As you heard our guest, it only takes an hour, 1 hour to do your business plan.
No, one day.
I'm sorry, I apologize. 1 day. And now, wouldn't that be nice to do it in 1 hour? It'll be really nice, but I apologize for 1 day. So take a day out to come up with your business plan because you always have a plan. You need a plan to know where you're going to. And then the second one is to review it. Though we write the words, we put the words on the piece of paper. Now you have to make it worth something. So you need to go back and review the plan. As Alina said, she even went back after she wrote it. She went back and rewrote it again, made some changes. So read your business plan. Don't let the paper be a paperweight. Use it it has its purpose, and use it as a purpose, as your roadway to where you want it to take you to.
Wait a minute. When you said don't use it as a paperweight.
That's right. Because I know some people that has business plans this high and it got a whole bunch of paper, and guess what it does? It sits on the desk. I done seen them blow dust off of it. And I'm like, well, what's its purpose? I went to two offices. And I'm like, well, what's that? And they're like, it's my business plan. I'm like, okay. And I go, well, can I look at it? And they're like, oh, sure. I go, what's in it? They're like, oh, I don't know. I haven't even looked at it. And I was starting to look at it to highlight it. It's like, have you did this? Have you did this? Have you did that? They're like, nope, haven't done that. And so it's important not to use it as a paperweight. It has its purpose.
I like that very, very much. You know what, Alina, that needs to be one. Whenever you're talking to somebody, that very definitely needs to be one that is said. That is not a paperweight. It serves a purpose. Alina, I want to ask you something about first of all, which part of the business plan was the most challenging for you to write?
The most challenging part of the business plan, I have to say, was the financials. And the financial part was the most challenging because of first of all, it was making sure that everything was balanced out, and the fact that I had to be very realistic about the amount of money that I was going to need, and take that real deep breath about the fact that, you know what, this really is going to cost. And also for the fact, looking at the fact of, you have to do research to have to seek funding if you don't already have that. If you have funding, it's one thing, but if you don't have it, where do you go for other places to get funding? And what does that actually mean? And there's so many resources out there for us now I'll throw a quick word out there. Brent, I know you know this. Pamela, I know you know this, and I know the world knows it now, but crowdfunding, and don't you love that word?
Oh,
But
yes,
there's so
I
many different
do.
things out there. I know, but there's so many words out there, and it's like when you start learning all those yummy little words and financials and all the places you can get money. Yes, that's what you start doing. You start clapping, you know. So financials was the hardest, but then it was happy too because it's like ooh, So it was a little bit difficult because it was like, oh my goodness, I got to put money into this. So it's one thing writing it up, another thing securing the funds.
Very, very cool. There's a question that I have. It's more on the personal side, and I know you weren't expecting it. So if you say, "Hey, Brent, that's not your business," you're telling us in the audience, and that's okay. We can take it. But here's the question:
Yeah.
from a family point of view, how involved do you get the family in this new business venture? Because it's your affair, but yet the family. How involved do you get the family? How do you share with them what your dream is and what you want to do?
Well, at this point, they have no choice but to evolve because I can't stop talking about it. And now my husband has no choice because now I'm dreaming about it, so I'm sure he's feeling all the dreams because I can't sleep because now I'm dreaming. No, on a serious note, though, actually, my family, and I will say my mate especially, is pretty much involved because I use him as a real sounding board. He's really good at planning, and so sometimes when I come up with all these ideas and I'm starting to think about stuff, I use him as that planner to help me put things into perspective. So, he's really good with that. Maybe you should think about this. Maybe you should think about that. Help. So he's pretty much involved.
That's nice to hear because oftentimes what happens is regrettably they're not sharing it, and so it becomes a base. And so I encourage people, you want to have your family involved in that they know what's going on. There aren't surprises. And some people would say, well, it's my business, and well, I don't need to do that. I can handle it. But here's the deal. Put the ego over to the side so that you can
Oh,
in the magic. Alina,
yeah.
would you agree on that?
My poor ego, Brent. My poor ego. I think I've sat and stomped on my ego. My poor ego. I'll just put it to you like this. My daughter's middle name is Pride. Does that tell you anything? Does that tell the world anything? My child's middle name is Pride. You see what
Oh,
I've had to do to my ego.
I see what you had to do to your ego.
I've been humbled.
Oh, okay. You took the words right out of my mouth. I was about to say, boy, do we become humble. Get used to the word humility
It has
and
tears in
humble.
my eyes.
That's right. That's right.
It has tears in
Absolutely.
my eyes. Trust me. This is an emotional experience for me. Trust me, ladies. I've been emotionally touched. This is emotional. This is more beyond just this business thing. This is emotional.
Well, Alina, can I ask you another personal question?
Sure.
Do you have any regret in going to be leaving from where you are to becoming an entrepreneur? Is there any regrets?
I'll tell you, I've gone through, and I'm still probably going through a mourning stage, but I must say that I'm happy now. I'm happy because I'm going to be able to fulfill what it is that I really want to do. I actually know that this is going to be better for me. And regrets, I can't say that I have regrets now. No.
And
It's
that's
not
good.
about regrets. I, I feel like I'm an entrepreneur. I feel entrepreneur club. It's like I want to get in a circle and hold hands and like something like we are the world. We're entrepreneurs. And there's so many of us, and I'm circling around all entrepreneurs, and I'm like, goodness, there's so many of you people. I
And
mean,
that's good.
yes, it's a movement. Entrepreneurs, there's that word, Brent. Entrepreneurship is a movement, man. They're everywhere.
Yes, they
So,
are. Yes, they
yes,
are.
you
And
know,
that's good. That's good that our new entrepreneurs, or those who are thinking about entrepreneurs, that they hear what you're saying about, you do have that ups and downs. Let's be honest. You're going to have that peak. Oh yeah, I'm an entrepreneur. And then you have that you're going down when you have to face, so much of being an entrepreneur. But I'm glad you share that with our listeners.
We need to put that. We need
yes,
to definitely.
absolutely.
Oh, sorry about that. We need to definitely put that in the feed. Entrepreneurship is, in fact, a movement. And you know what?
Hmm.
I love the way that you said that, Alina, because we hear about jobs and we got it. We understand. We appreciate jobs. And there are times when I wish that along with those jobs, we talk about creating jobs. How about we also create entrepreneurs? How about we also
Hmm.
create entrepreneurship and really roll that out so that people hear it clearly? That I like that. Entrepreneurship is a movement. I'll tell you what,
Hmm.
it is truly a movement among young people because young people at a heartbeat will say, "I'm not going to do what you did." 40 years, 20
Hmm.
years, their attitude is significantly different. How old is your daughter, Alina?
My youngest daughter is 21. She'll be 21 on the 15th.
Okay, my question for you is, how does she view entrepreneurship versus a conventional job? Where is her head at with that?
Even the oldest one she can't even, she got a standard degree and everything, and she can't even work in an environment. Poor thing. I'm like, why'd you get a degree? Because she's not meant to work for people. She got to work for herself.
Yeah,
The entrepreneurship is all over her. And it's just like you said, Pamela. They're at a different mindset these days. Total different
Absolutely.
mindset. You know.
Absolutely.
You know.
Pamela, what's your thought? Because in that relative, you said you're saying pretty much the same thing. Absolutely. Why is your absolutely?
Because I belong to several Toastmasters class, and there is a gentleman that is 30. I think he's 35. We were talking after class. He used to work in a corporate business, big corporation, making money. He one day said, "Pam, I went to work. I went to work late." He said, "So that was already the sign of something was just I was not feeling it anymore." He said, "I said, well, you were 5 minutes late." He's like, "No, Pam, I was a 2 hour late." I said, "Oh." And then he said,
Oh,
I went in. He said, I took a box with me, cleared my desk off, and said, "This is it. I have no more to do with the corporate cubicle world." And I asked him what drove him to that point. And he said, because why can't I be my own boss, do what I'm doing now, and make more money? And I get to control what I'm doing. And to this day, this young man, actually, we've been friends now for about 2 years now. And he is running so smoothly two online marketing businesses. Two. And their mentality is totally different than our generation and the generation behind us. They all about the cubicle world, and I hear that just not from him, from other ones in my other Toastmaster class, saying the cubicle world is not for them.
the QB world. I think I'm gonna write that one down. The QB world is not for
Not
me.
for them. Yep.
Oh my goodness! Wow, that is extraordinary. That is extraordinary. Hey, Alina, this is my question for you. Are we going to be able to get you back to talk to us going forward about what's happening with you and how things are going? Are we going to be able to get you back? Can you, let's see. I think she might. One of the things, the challenge is technology is great. However, sometimes, just sometimes, it needs to click in real time. But I'll tell you what, I am going to work to get her back with us at another time. And I want to share and say, first and foremost, thank you, Ms. Alina Lopez Thomas, for having been with us this morning. She was absolutely great. She really nailed it on the head, answered some questions. And I got to tell you, folks, there are a lot of services out out there for a lot of government-run services as well as private services that are available for us to take advantage of. They usually run a couple $100 or less. We can be taking those courses, and they don't always have to be taken at college. They can be taken by organizations such as Center for Women Enterprise, Small Business Administration. Those entities are generally all across the world, so they are there for the taking, and it is just merely a case of us being willing to spend it. Time is such a pivotal item. But ladies and gentlemen, I tell you truly, we either spend it on one end or we spend it on the other. As a former mortgage broker, I used to say to people, get an attorney. You need an attorney at your closing. No, I don't want to spend the $500 or $1,000. And I would always say, you either spend it on the front end or you spend it on the back end, but it's getting spent. And we had a situation in which that occurred for one of our clients who wouldn't listen. And I'll tell you, I felt so strongly, I had her sign a disclaimer saying that she was told. Sure enough, she ended up spending $5,000. Now, had she spent the $500, we wouldn't have had the discussion after. And she admitted it. And I was so glad I didn't have to pull that disclaimer out and say, see, I told you to take care of this, and you signed off that you took care of it. So I'm not wanting to throw salt in the wound or water on the fire. I'm just merely saying it is important to do that. Consider it a recalibration of yourself. That's what I would say. You know, Pamela, as we wrap up and hit the hot topics, please tell me, give us some of your final thoughts on what happened in our segment today.
Absolutely. I would like to go on further, as Brent had talked about, some local area organizations that will help you in your business. Here in Columbus, Ohio, we have the ECDI that you can join, as well as the Women's Center. And if you become a member of one of those two organizations, they have free classes on financing. They have free classes on how to write a business plan. And if you go they also give you a free consultation on, you give them an idea, and they'll even help you walk you through your idea. So the resources are out there. So it is essential, ladies and gentlemen, to use your resources. If you don't know where to go, post it here in the Wealth Warriors. Brent and I will find someone that can help you. And then secondly, please, please, please get you an attorney that will help you through this, because as Brent said, I know someone that is facing the same thing because they simply didn't do the front end, and now they're having to deal with a lot of the financial pieces on the back end. So that's important. So.
Absolutely. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Appreciate that. Thank you. Alina, you're back. We wanted to give you an opportunity to say some final words to our audience. So if you're up and running, let's hear, please, by all means, what are your final thoughts as you depart the show?
Bye.
Yeah, that's original.
No, I kind of feel lost because I did miss a lot that you were saying. I will say that the 10-week course that I took was at the Center for Women in Enterprise. It was a very good course. They have a lot of different things that you can take there that will help walk you through your business, and a lot of different courses that are very beneficial for you. Different things on finances that you can take. One of the words I used was crowdfunding, social media. There's a lot of different things that you can take. So that's a very good resource to have, Center for Women in Enterprise.
Definitely do appreciate that. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I had the opportunity to take a course, actually, as a result of Alina sharing that with me, a course on social media, which was certainly truly beneficial. Alina, one final question to you. Are we going to be able to get you back on the show again?
Oh, yes. I actually had a very nice time. I'm getting used to, looking at myself and getting to look at you two beautiful women. And Pamela, thank you for the questions, the extra questions. It does help, get my creative juices flowing. And, of course, Brent as well, keeping me on point. So it works. The only way you're going to progress is by continually being around people that are doing the same thing. So thank you very much, ladies.
You,
Thank you.
you are so welcome. Thank you. And I will talk to you offline. So have a great one.
All
Bye.
right.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. We are in the hot topics conversation right now, and what we're going to do is we're going to tag team it. I'm going to share a couple of hot topics with you, and we're also going to have Pamela share some of the hot topics that she's looking at. And so my hot topic for our audience is this: books, books, and more books. What does that mean, Brent Harding? I'll tell you, one of the best ways to be an expert at whatever it is you're doing, write a book. You can look forward to my book coming out in April of 2017. I am working with a fabulous editor. We are getting started in December. It is going to be a trilogy. It is going to be book 1, book 2, book 3. I am not going to share the title with you yet until she tells me that I can. And when I do, I'm going to tell you there is a story behind that title. And it goes back many years, but it has always stayed in my mind. So for me, the hot topic is this: one of the ways in which you can be the expert is by writing that book, memorializing information. Information truly is power, and I will tell you what, that is the way that you end up being, you end up with a tribe. You have people that will follow, people that will hear, people that will listen to you because you've got something to say. Now, does it require you to have a degree and all of those elements? The answer is no, it doesn't. It is you having an expertise, you having something to say, you having a story to tell. That is the quintessential about writing a book. I am so excited to be working with this lovely young lady. I will be sharing more details about her. It'll be my hope to have her on an upcoming broadcast so that you, those of you who want to write that book, who want to project yourself, who want to usher your brand out to the audience, guess what? You are going to be able to do that. That's my first hot topic. I have another one, but Pamela, you're up. Talk to us about your hot topic.
My hot topic for this week is networking. Make it, use it, and use it wisely. There is a lot of networking events out there. Make sure that they are serving your purpose, not no one else. Reason why I'm so strong about this is I went to several networking events and I didn't get anything out of it. A networking event, you need to be educational, and that's also a place where you can build your tribe. So network and use it and to build your tribe. You have to do that. Or how are we or anybody going to know who your message and who you are?
You know, Pamela, that is a great one that you pointed out, especially the part that I really appreciated is when you said it's got to be something that works and benefits you, so that when you bring it to, when you go there, you're giving. It's a gift. It's a give and getter. You know, what is the statement? You give to get. It's a giver's market. However, you've got to have something that comes back to you. And I'll tell you one other thing that I appreciate about networking that you brought, and I'm glad that you brought that up as a hot topic, and that is this. Decide how many events. Do not become a networker junkie. Do not become a conference junkie. Barry Donaldson speaks about that. Do not just, you're following. The business has got to be able to pay for these ventures that we go on. And that's one of the powerful pieces about a business plan is you, as you're writing up your financials, how much money am I going to spend? I'm personally I'm discriminating in terms of what I'm going to go to. We know we bill from event to event to event. No, not every event do I need to be at. Pick and choose wisely because you have to be able to build the business as well. So I appreciate that that hot topic that you brought to my attention. or brought not to my attention, brought to our audience's attention. The other hot topic actually got discussed in the show, but I want to reiterate that, and that is be careful about your branding. Be careful about your branding. Sit down, take time to actually look at what it is, the message that you want to get out. And it's a hot topic. Read up on it. And the reason I say it's a hot topic is because it's now it's resurging. It's getting another life again. And people have to think about how they want to be branded. For example, you might have you have an Anthony Robbins, who his name has become his brand. He has several companies under his name, and those companies are in fact different named companies. Then you have others who have their brand name in front and then whatever it is that followed. So example, Wealth Warriors. We have Wealth Warrior Strategies. I'm about to relaunch and rename another piece that will be a Wealth Warrior, and then it'll have an ending to it. It's a distinction. And for my part, the distinction came as I looked in and saw there were so many Wealth Warriors. So there was a definite need to distinguish that, to distinguish the Wealth Warriors. So be real careful about your brand and recognize this. Rebranding and rebranding, we all have the ability to rebrand. However, you only get to rebrand but so many times before you lose folks. It's like changing your cell phone number. People that change their cell phone number too many times lose people in the process. I've had my cell phone number for I don't know how many years, and I do remember this. At one point, I didn't want to give anybody my cell phone. I don't want them to know my cell phone number. Now people say, Brent, your phone is attached to your face. What can I say? Oh, Pamela, are there any other hot topics that you want to bring to our audience's attention?
Actually, you hit it right on the head. Branding. That's funny. It's been a hot topic. Actually in one of my Facebook groups. Branding is so important. And again, brand who you are and brand who you are and who you want us to know who you are. I do know that someone started to do some branding for a client, and she was so far off because the client did not project who she is or what she wanted to project. So be careful. Branding is very important. And as well as the last one I will also talk about is be out here, social media. Use it, but use it wisely. So the ranting and the raving and cutting down, that's not its purpose. We talked about that in our group one of my groups yesterday. You're out, and that's branding. That's really branding, because once I see you start ranting or raving about something, you've lost me, and it's going to take you a minute to bring me back to your brand. So use it wisely.
Wow, that was a well said point. That was very definitely a well said point. We're going to have to roll in social media again. I'm so glad that I've taken a course. I actually have 2 more classes, and I too took a 10-week course. And there were times when I just did not feel like going. I am so glad that I did. We had a great class on LinkedIn. And for those of us watching this broadcast, will watch a rerun of this broadcast, LinkedIn is your friend. It is significantly different from Facebook. And I'll tell you what, it took a while for me it wasn't until I took the social media class that I saw how beneficial it is for business people, for those that want to attain wealth, to be on LinkedIn. For sure, for sure. Thank you so much, everyone. We've got one final part. We've got some announcements, and we've got less than 60 seconds. Pamela, the floor is yours. What announcement do you have?
Well, one announcement that I do have here in Columbus, Ohio, there will be a girls' night out event here October the 7th. If you're not able to make it, though you want to enter your business information into the directory, email me. You can shoot the email to me at the number 1, then the PANDS consulting@gmail.com, and we can discuss further how to get your business in the directory so you can get your business here and known here in Columbus, Ohio.
I will be taking advantage of that. That is an awesome way to make that happen. I've got one for you. Mark your calendar for November 5th. We'll give you details as they become available. Want to say thank you to our audience. Thank you to our tribe. Thank you to our movement, for everybody that's involved. We appreciate you tremendously. For the new people that have come on board, I want to say welcome to the show. You will get the nuggets that you need. Both Pamela and I appreciate you tremendously, and we bid you an incredible Saturday. So go out and be absolutely amazing. See you next week.